Okay, so I want to show you how I built this clip using Claude and OpenArt.ai. This was a lot of fun to make, and I want to take you on the tour of how I did it. Okay, I want to talk really briefly about how I created the character that is in the movie clip. Right now I'm calling her Roxie, and all I did was in a program called OpenArt, I typed in a brief prompt of what I wanted. An image of a sort of a retro-styled woman, blonde hair, green eyes, and she's a space explorer. That was real. These are really all the words that I gave it. Took that prompt and I put it right here in OpenArt.ai. And OpenArt lets you choose a couple of different models to generate your images. You have this huge list of models you can choose from. I opted for the Nano Banana Pro to create my model, to create the character that I was using. And so all I did was put the prompt in there. I selected 4 out of 4 images. You can do less if you want to. As you noticed, you use less credits the less you use. I wanted to see how many. This was my first time using it, and so I wanted to see what it would create based on that one simple prompt. And once I hit create or generate, it popped out 4 options for me. And these are the images that OpenArt created. I decided to go with the one second from the left to make my character of Roxie. I like the suit. I like the way that OpenArt generated this image. I thought it was a perfect character fit. And I also used OpenArt to create, and I can go over this in a different video. I used OpenArt and Claude prompts to create the bike that Roxie rides in that movie clip. And that took a few iterations and few different references to come up with this final model. But yeah, I also was able to create that through OpenArt. And that's the bike that Roxie rides. Now that I had the woman or the character and the hover bike, I wanted to put her on it. And so I went back to Claude and I just said, write a prompt with the woman sitting on her hover bike. I imagined her having one leg down, um, with that foot touching the ground, hands on the handlebars. I imagined her left leg already up on the other side, and she's got sort of this look on her face like she's excited. She's about to take off on this bike. Um, I didn't know what to expect from Claude. This is my first time doing this, and Claude just delivered this huge primary prompt. And Claude described the woman, described the bike, kind of described everything, gave it this extra detail like the, retro-futurism aesthetic, strong female protagonist energy, all this stuff that I didn't realize was going to be really helpful to creating the image. It also included the camera and composition tags, side profile shot, full body visible, eye contact with camera, rule of thirds, golden hour lighting, all this really cool stuff, style tags, cinematic realism. And then it threw in this other thing called the negative prompt. Claude made sure that the OpenArt model generator didn't didn't get away with trying to face her away from the camera. Or it was just throwing in all the things that I didn't want based on what I had asked it to do. And so avoiding the bland expression, no wheels of any kind. Don't let it float too high, dark, moody, none of that kind of stuff. No anime style. It just threw that in naturally, and I thought that was really cool. I had no idea about any of this stuff. So with the Claude prompt ready to go, and with my reference images of the woman and the hover bike, I went ahead and I just cut and paste those prompts into OpenArt. Again, I want to make sure I'm using Nano Banana Pro on this one. I'm only going to do one image this time, and I am going to use these references, um, so that the model generator can have that to work from along with the prompts that are written by Claude. I hit generate, and this is what happens. I get this really cool image of my character now sitting on her hover bike, and it's exactly what I had hoped for. She's looking right at the camera. She's got that kind of smirk on her face, and she's ready to go. The only thing is, I'm wondering if now maybe she's just too sideways here. I think I want to turn her a little bit, and so OpenArt has this option. If I click on the image, I can go down here and find some other things that I can do with this image. And one of those things is I can change the camera angle. So I'm going to click on that, and right here I can do things. I can twist this like that, or I can use this bar right here to twist the camera angle. And so I'm going to twist her just a little bit to have her facing the camera just a little bit more. And then I'm just going to hit generate and see what that gives me. So now we go from this to this, and I like this much more. She's not looking at the camera anymore. It's I don't know, it's more dynamic looking, and I'm going to take this and we're going to work out the first animation. So I go back to Claude and I ask it to, I tell it I want a prompt to create an image to video, and I tell it what I want basically to happen, and it takes these few simple words that I give it, and it creates this entirely detailed prompt on all the action, and it was perfect. It's teaching me how to do this, and I think that's such a cool. It's just a cool thing that Claude does. And so yeah, the blue repulsors are going to glow. Um, she's she's going to lean into the bike taking off as it shoots off the screen. Her hair is going to whip back behind her, and it takes all the physics of the shot into account. And then it also adds these camera behaviors. It gives you know, that it's holding steady. It talks about um, the way it should sound. The deep mechanical engine rumble is written in there, and then the pacing of the scene as well. And again, it throws in these negative prompts. Don't sudden cut. It's no jerky motion. She should not be looking at the camera. All those things. I take all that and I go back to OpenArt and I select the image, and I go down to this menu here, and I go to frame to video. Click on that, and then I am going to move my reference image to the start frame. I can leave this one open. I'll just let OpenArt figure out the ending. You can sometimes put an ending in there, but that can also confuse things. In the description of the video, I just paste in everything that Claude wrote out for me. And I check my settings. I've got my audio on because I want sound. I'm going to put mode at normal. You can do it fast, but I think there's better quality when you do it normal. And then I choose my output. You can choose different screen sizes right here. I'm going to go 16 by 9, 16 by 9, and I'm just going to do 720 pixels instead of the 1080p. These would be better, but you obviously will use a lot of credits when you do those, and I'm still learning. I'm just trying to figure this stuff out. So I'm going to do that. I'll keep the duration at 8 seconds. And I'm only I'm only doing one image, and then I'll just hit generate, and we'll see what OpenArt delivers. Okay, so that took a few minutes to generate, and now we have our animation, and it already looks really cool. And at this point in the thumbnail, you can't really hear anything, but if I open this up, you'll hear what it sounds like, and I'm just impressed by this. That looks amazing. It did everything that it delivered. I mean, look at the dust that's left. It's got the sand dunes from the character's world, and just I love the way that this moves. She brings her leg up, and just and then that face, that she gives that expression, that look, that she is. Watch, look at that. She is excited to ride this bike. This is going to be a great ride. And man, it just sounds awesome. Sounds really cool. I loved the way that turned out. You can do more. You can modify if you want. But yeah. And by the way, I did this one in C Dance. You can choose, kind of like when I did the Nano Banana Pro to create the image in the first place. You can choose which video model you want to use. I've started to use Kling as well, but for this one I used C Dance in the beginning, and it looks fantastic. At this point I'm hooked, and so I just go along doing the exact same thing that we did before, creating a new image, this time from the front. There was a couple of iterations of this one until I finally just got it head on, and from there I go again to frame to video using Claude to create prompts, and then I get this front facing one where she's just zooming towards the camera. Her hair is flickering in the wind, and that expression. I just love how excited she is to be writing. And then I want one more where she just blasts off and we never hear from her again. She's just so I get this last image where again the character is in her spacesuit. She's on that bike. Well, this time we get an angle of the back of the bike. We can see this huge engine in the back. She's racing off into the dunes, and I go back to frame to video, I get new prompts from Claude, and describing what I want, and then we get this final shot, and she just blasts off. I take the final ones, I put them all into CapCut, and then it gives us the video you saw at the beginning. I'll show it to you one more time.